Okay, good morning, everyone. The Board of Control for what, May 13th? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Good morning, calling the roll for the Monday, May 13th Board of Control meeting. It is 11 a.m. We have Levine Ross serving for Councilwoman Meredith Turner. We have Councilman Dale Miller.
He's here, present.
Here.
We have Trevor McLear serving for Councilman Pernell Jones.
Here.
Michael Dever.
Here.
Michael Chambers, Fiscal Officer, serving as Chairman of the Board.
Here.
Katie Gallagher, serving as alternate for County Executive Chris Ronay.
Here.
And Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. At this time is the review and the approval of the minutes from May 6th. I will make the motion. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the minutes are approved. Any public comment?
No public comment.
Let's go to our first item, please.
Our first item is a tabled item. It's BC 2024-339. That item is being held at the request of the department.
Okay, next item then.
Our next item is BC 2024-360, Department of Public Works. Recommending to amend Board of Control approval BC 2024-246, dated April 1st, 2024, which submitted a grant award from the U.S. Department of Energy in the amount of $1,500,000 for the Euclid Microgrid Design Project in connection with the Grid Infrastructure Deployment and Resilience Program for the period March 1st, 2024 through February 28th, 2026, to change the funding source from $42,183 cash match Compass Energy Platform to $43,183 cost share from Compass Energy Platform paid directly to the project through a public-private partnership.
Good morning, Matt Ruby, Department of Public Works. As stated, this is a correction of a prior approved item. There are two corrections being done here. One, there was a typo and the cost share amount was $1,000 less on the original agenda, so we were correcting that, as well as OBM had reached out and wanted to clarify some of the language. We changed from cash match to cost share to align this approval with the federal assistance documentation in preparation for this item is on tomorrow's fiscal agenda for council's consideration.
Thank you, Matt. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-361, Court of Common Pleas, Juvenile Court Division, submitting an amendment to a contract with Applewood Centers Incorporated for clinical case management services for the Community-Based Intervention Center for the period February 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2024, and for additional funds in an amount not to exceed $159,007.44.
Good morning, Tara, Juvenile Court. So one, this amendment is backdated because it was to correct a mistake. It was sitting in a pending status, and so we're doing the amendment to correct that mistake, and it also will be amended again this upcoming state fiscal year. But this is 100% reclaim funded to continue CBIC services with Applewood.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing, move to approve. Seconded by Mr. McAleer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-362, Court of Common Pleas, Juvenile Court Division, recommending awards and enter into agreements with various municipalities as listed on the printed agenda, and the total amount not to exceed $139,800 for the Community Diversion Program services for the period January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Chair, again, Juvenile Courts, this is the remainder, excuse me, of our community diversion contracts with various cities throughout the county. These are one-year contracts. And I think we have one more straggler that did not make this list that we have to go, but after that, that's it. And I believe I owe Cheryl a page for Cleveland Heights, and I do have that. We're going to upload it.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Are there any questions from the board? Councilman, please.
So these are routine contracts that we do every year, so I'm going to move for approval.
We have a move for approval. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-363, Sheriff's Department submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Vance Outdoors Incorporated, doing business as Vance Law Enforcement, in the amount not to exceed $31,587.50 for a state contract purchase of 50 each Glock handguns, Safariland retention duty holsters, magazine pouches, and various accessories, and recommending to enter into a purchase order in connection with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Chris Costin. This award through Vance will allow us the purchase of 50 handguns for our law enforcement division.
Thank you, Chris. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item, please.
Next item is BC 2024-364, Office of the Medical Examiner, recommending to amend Board of Control approval, BC 2023-428, dated July 10th, 2023, which amended BC 2022-493, dated August 15th, 2022, which amended Board of Control approval, BC 2021-312, dated June 28, 2021, which approved an award to Qualtrics Incorporated for a sole source purchase of 105 Qualtrics compliance software licenses and hosted platform and related training services by changing the amount not to exceed from $50,481.82 to $65,500.26, and by changing the time from May 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2024 to May 1, 2021 through April 30th, 2025.
Hugh Shannon, Medical Examiner's Office. Qualtrics is a document management system that's used by the laboratories, doing exactly what it says. It manages their multiple documents that are generated. We had answered the question from council earlier that these are part of a grant and that the prices were already added and approved by the federal government when they did the grant. I will say I was in the middle of the conference, the state coroner's conference, and I didn't do the math myself, but this isn't actually a cost increase. We added about $15,000 for an additional year. That is about the same price that it has been in the previous 3 years. So this is essentially $65,500 for the entire 4 years of the contract.
Thank you,
And
Hugh.
it is on a grant.
Are there any questions from the board? Councilman?
So, how much money is in the covered or grant fund?
I would have to check and see what's left. We get it every year, somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000, but I can get you the exact amount.
Okay. So we're continuing to receive this money?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Are there additional questions? Please.
And remind me, what was the source of this grant?
So the Department of Justice, the Coverdale allows crime labs across the country to increase their capabilities. A lot of times you'll hear there's two different grants, actually. There's one that's competitive and one that is kind of formulaic. That's the one we know we get every year, which I believe, is this? Yeah, that one is. The other one is competitive, that we have special projects that we'll apply for in addition to, so.
So this is a federal program?
The grant is a federal grant, yes.
Right, okay, thank you.
Sure. Additional questions? Seeing no further, I will make a motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2024-365, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services, on behalf of the Medical Examiner's Office, submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Case Western Reserve University, Begun Center for Violence Prevention, Research, and Education in the amount not to exceed $390,000 for the Cuyahoga County Overdose Fatality Review Counteractive Initiative Program in connection with the FY 2023 Comprehensive Opioid, Stimulant, and Substance Abuse site-based grant program for the period October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2026, and recommending to enter into a contract in connection with said RFP exemption.
Hugh Shannon, Medical Examiner's Office. So we had one of these last week with the Board of Health. We have multiple partners that help us with the fatality review, the opioid fatality reviews, and I believe we've got one more coming. This is also another grant from the Department of Justice.
Thank you, Hugh. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Levine Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item is BC 2024-366, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services submitting a sub-grant award agreement from the Ohio Department of Public Safety, Office of Criminal Justice Services in the amount of $25,633.68 for management of the FY 2023 Stop Violence Against Women Act Administrative Grant Program for the period January 1, 2024 through March 31st, 2025.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn from Public Safety. And as you are aware, we do receive VAWA block grant fundings for distribution, and these are for programmatic programs that strengthen effective law enforcement and prosecution strategies, as well as services to combat crimes against women. This is an administrative grant that we receive in order to defray the costs of administering that block grant. And the local match is a regular part of our annual budget.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-367, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services recommending an award on RQ 13858 and enter into a contract with Accentra in the amount not to exceed $88,423.80 for development of a long-term recovery plan and development and hosting of one recovery-focused tabletop exercise event effective upon signatures of all parties through December 31st, 2024.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn again with Public Safety, and with me is Mark Christie, the Emergency Manager, and he'll discuss what the actual project is. But this is a grant-funded project that was competitively bid. We are making a recommendation to the highest ranked proposal, which also happened to have been the lowest cost proposal, and Ohio EMA did approve this award. Mark?
Again, Mark Christie, County Emergency Management. This project will help us build a long-term recovery plan that will address all hazards, but with the primary focus on recovery from an incident involving an active aggressor. That's important because recovery from an incident like that has some different complexities that you really need to account for to ensure the community that, God forbid, has an event like that occur can recover as efficiently as possible. So it'll drill down into things, items or areas like family assistance centers, donations management, memorials, et cetera. And then, as Mary Beth mentioned, as part of the project, we'll also work with the contractor to host tabletop exercise to test the planning once it's complete.
Okay, thank you both. Are there questions from the board? Mr. McAleer, please.
Good morning, Mark. What is, I guess, what's defined as an active aggressor?
So that's
Covers that.
typically active aggressor situations are mass casualty situations involving an active shooter or something to that effect.
Are there additional questions? Seeing no further questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Thank you. Next item.
Next, item BC 2024-368, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Family and Children First Council, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to the Literacy Cooperative in the amount not to exceed $100,000 even for enrollment, supportive, and analytic service for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library Program for the period March 1st, 2024 through February 28th, 2025, and recommending to enter into a contract in connection with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Kathleen Stewart from Family and Children First Council. This is a contract with the Literacy Cooperative for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It is a book-giving initiative, and they send out books to families who are enrolled in their program every month from birth to 5 years old. It is for $100,000. From what I could tell, they did receive ARPA dollars to fund this program in previous years, and the funding was moved over to our office this year.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Levine Ross. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Moving on to exemptions.
Exemptions, BC 2024-369, Office of the Medical Examiner, recommending an alternative procurement process, which will result in an award recommendation to Promega and Life Technologies in the amount not to exceed $281,394 to procure genetic testing kits and other consumable supplies for the period October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2025.
Hugh Shannon, Medical Examiner's Office. This is a contract we have. These are the testing kits for DNA lab. We have a short shelf life on these, so we order them as we need them. We can't keep them in the facility for more than a month or two at most. And so this was the way that we had this set up, and it's through our DNA backlog grant to help us with caseload.
Thank you, Hugh. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to consent agenda.
We have consent agenda items BC 2024-370 through BC 2024-372.
Not too many items today, board members. If there are any questions on the three items, feel free. Mr. Meckler.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. And I don't know if Public Works knows this or if they can get back to me, but the last item under item services received an invoice but not paid, the $29,000 for the Chevy Tahoe repair, was that an accident that we might be able to recover through an insurance company, or was it an accident that it was just us that something happened? What's the background there?
Good morning, Tom Pavich, Public Works. So yes, this car was involved in an accident. There was a drunk driver that plowed into this car, so they're working through the courts to get reimbursement on this item, but it was an accident where they were hit.
Thank you.
They were in
And
the field.
Was the county, was everyone okay?
Yes, including the dogs. There was a canine vehicle.
Canine? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Including.
That stresses the.
Okay, any additional questions? Seeing none, then I will make a motion to approve today's consent agenda items as listed. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Paul Porter. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? They are approved. Is moving on to other business?
No other business,
Any further public comment?
no public comment.
I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are